All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is. We have a phenomenal artist right here, right now, from the West Coast. We got Richy Cannon, also known as All City, right here live on the line. How are you doing this evening?
What's going on with you, man? I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
I gotta say, first and foremost, man, I've been looking forward to this broadcast. I've been a fan of your music for a long time, man, so it's an honor to be able to converse with you and welcome you onto 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, brother. And I definitely am glad to be on here, man. I'm glad. I see you going all the way across the map, man. You getting everybody on this thing, so it's only right, man.
Hey, man, most definitely. I'm just trying to preserve real legendary hip hop artists like yourself, man. You know what I mean? I look at it as, unfortunately, we all aren't promised tomorrow, man. So I want to give as many legends like yourself their flowers while we all are still here.
Man, and I definitely appreciate that. That's a real shit right there. That is the realest shit I heard today.
But, man, I want to take you back to the beginning of your amazing career, man, because I know you've been doing this for like 20 plus years, man, if not longer. But I want to know, man, from the very beginning, like, what inspired and sparked the legendary career of All City?
You know what? It just had to be just, growing up in the culture of just hip hop. From like, a kid, we was break dancing. We was out here tagging. We was doing it all. It's like the fashion. And then you just grow up. Like, that's just like part of your life. Like, we all grew up on some hip hop. A lot of us grew up, that's what we grew up on. Like, so it's like, when you grow up listening to music like Special Ed, you learning these raps, you at school, and all your friends are learning the raps. So it's like, after a while, it's like, hey, just by nature, you just start kind of doodling down, and you start diddling, dabbling. Well, we had the tape player back in the day, bruh. Plug the tape player up. We had the double cassette. We was making our own tapes, rapping through the headphones. Once you heard yourself back on that playback, it was like a drug for me. Shit, I stopped every set.
And I gotta ask, well, when you said tagging and whatnot back in the day, did you ever actually pursue graffiti art at all before you actually got into hip hop? Like, and if so, like, how far did you actually get into it?
Nah, man. I have a bunch of buddies that's like serious hip hop artists, legendary hip hop artists that are real graffiti artists. You know what I mean? Like, but not me. It was just a part of the, of the culture. You know what I mean? Like, we was growing up in the '80s, and then fading over into the '90s. We got the change of the culture changed from the '70s went out, and then the '80s came in. The '80s was like, kind of even. We had a lot of East Coast music, more East Coast music than West Coast music back then. Like, I listened to a lot more East Coast music because that's what everybody was listening to. Like, everybody listened to Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane, 3 Times Dope, Stetson Sonic. Shit, that's what we was listening to. And then came, Toddy T with the Battlegram, Uncle Jam's Army, all that Egyptian Lover, and then came NWA and all that after that. Then when Q, he went from the NWA to his solo shit. It's like everybody went through that with Q. When he went, when it was Afro out, had the pick in his back pocket. Everybody blew their Afro out and had their pick in their back pocket. It's like, that shit just like a way of life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I didn't get involved with the graffiti like that, but it was just a part of the thing, like from growing from the graffiti age to when it turned into tagging, and what some of them dudes wind up doing is turning into gangbangers. Just the West out here is just a little different. For me going other places, it's like, yeah, it's gangs and all that shit in every hood. It's just out here, this shit is like, man, you gotta tell people when they come from out town, look, man, you can't be wearing that motherfucking whatever hat in a certain neighborhood, because you have to know that shit will get your ass killed out here.
I agree with that, man. I was watching a video on YouTube. There was this guy that goes around hoods and whatnot, and kind of gives you like, I forget what it's called, but it's like he's a guy that goes around and documents hood stuff, and he even said that certain, I think it's like snapback hats with like certain like ball teams or hockey teams and stuff like that. They actually represent what gang is in that area.
Oh yeah, man. So that is like literally when you tell people to read the writing on the wall, it's like seriously, because I'm in South Central LA. I'm like 10 minutes from USC. So I see these little kids. I'll be like, man, this little kid ain't from nowhere around here. I tell them, man, like, put your phone in your pocket, man, and put that motherfucker all the way in your pocket too. For somebody to take that shit. That's a $1,200 iPhone. Motherfucker would rip your head off for that shit. So this shit is crazy, but it's like that everywhere. You know what I mean? It's a ghetto in every damn state. It's a ghetto in your hood, ain't it?
And also, as well, in the early to mid 2000s, I also read that you signed a record deal with S.I.N Records. I have to ask you, how did that record deal come to be for you? And of course, what was it like just being signed to that imprint?
Well, it was because I was in house, so with in-house homie, my nigga Sway from the LA Zoo, you know what I mean? And that's family, you know what I mean? So what it was us putting together another project, and releasing it after we had also did the Terror Society project, which was a group project that I was involved with also. It was like we were signed on Bellmark Records for Sony. That was in 1996. You can look that album up, Central Mental Terrorist Society. You can look it up on Google it right now. It'll still pop up on like eBay or something. I think I actually bought a copy of my own album because we ended up losing the rights to that record because they got sued by Disney. And Disney actually owned all the rights to the whatever was on that label at that time. Like, wow. So it was, dealing with the S.I.N record situation, that was more family though. So it was like, it was a cool thing. It just, we didn't follow it up with another record, which you have to do. The music industry moves so fast, and records last 30 days.
And also, as well, man, when you're going back to saying like you're purchasing a record and whatnot, while I was doing my digging for this interview, I noticed that your 2007 release titled "Hood Politics" is actually selling for $2,360 in Japan money. I have to ask you, how does it feel knowing that your earlier projects are actually in such high demand overseas?
Hey, you know what? That is some good information because I would love to get that documentation because that's crazy. I didn't know that.
What I can do actually, because I actually figured you'd probably ask that because I really make sure that I dig really hard during these interviews. So I actually bookmarked that actually in my desktop. So what I'll do after this interview is I'll hop back on the browser and actually send you that direct link. That way you can actually just have that documentation for yourself.
Yeah, that's dope. And you know what's crazy, man? I had a guy, he used to come to LA and he used to literally buy them copies from me. He just wanted me to sign each one. He'd buy them from me, like hand up cash or right, come get them. He used to come get them by the 100. And that was before they had that real big earthquake out there in Norway. Because he was from Norway, but he was still overseas in China doing this thing. And it's like after that earthquake, I didn't hear from him no more. I hope he's all right.
Hey, if he's listening, you never know. This might actually be one of the S.I.N CDs as well that he might be selling. You never know.
For real, man, because I'm telling you, he was a real good dude, and he was like, man, you should come do a show over there. And I was like, okay, I need to go over there. Even like with other people that I know, we'll get into a list, it'll be here all night. Man, you gotta go overseas, But it's like, if you out here living your life, man, I do music, I love doing music. It's just a part of my life, but shit, I work too. I wish I didn't how was that work?
Hey, but I gotta say though, it's most definitely worth it, man. Me personally, I just love what I do, so I love to be able to accommodate artists, man, because I do know that everyday life, gets in the way of a lot of things. So that's why I love having a
Oh,
24/7 station, because then I can just be like, all right, we can do it at this time, and we can still go live worldwide in front of an audience.
that's true. Smart too.
But also as well, man, February 21st of 2018. I know we're jumping ahead in the timeline here a little bit, but you released a phenomenal project with Double Guns, and the project was actually called "The Best of Nobody." The best of the nobody. Sorry, I have to ask you, what's the story and inspiration behind that phenomenal project?
Well, man, it's crazy that you said that because what it was, we were literally just constantly just working, right? We were just just working in the studio, just recording. So, we go back to like listen, like one day when we were just sitting there like, damn, it's actually like 40 songs we recorded in the last like 30 days, just looking at the dates, on the computer. Like, man, damn, we need to try to single this shit out and make a little project out of it. So, we just decided to just do it, because that's what a lot of people will do. They'll talk about doing shit, and they just don't follow through, man. So it's like, I was just like pressing it, like, we're not going to stop until we get this shit done. I want to see the album cover, and we're going to put this shit out. Okay, we got it done, put it out. And, we did shows. We didn't really do the digital, what I mean? We uploaded on CD Baby, and I was kind of it, did some hard copies, but it's like, like I say, man, you got to be consistent. Like, we should have already had the Bashers to the Baby album ready, and then we had another album, The Gangsters and the Gentlemen. All those songs is done, never pressed the records up.
And I gotta ask, do you think maybe in the future you actually might press some records up?
Definitely, definitely. Actually, right now we're in the process of making like a 1 hour mix show of all songs dating back from like 1996 all the way up to right now, and just doing like a timeline on the music and different producers, and different features I done did with different people, but it's like gonna be just like a straight mix blend all the way through, and that is gonna be something I'm gonna be giving away too.
And also, as well, in the same year of 2018, a month later in March, you actually dropped a project titled Executive Decisions. And I have to say, I gotta say, that record is phenomenal. I gave that one a listen personally myself. But I always wanted to know, man, what's the story behind that record? And of course, where can our listeners snag themselves a copy? Because just the name alone is such a powerful name, Executive Decisions.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And that right there was like that was my little baby right there. It's like I literally was recording that record and nobody knew it. You know what I mean? I'm working in the same studio we've been working in, but I might have been over there at 9 o'clock that morning recording some shit, and the homie already know we ain't letting nobody hear that shit. So we was able to literally record the album, do the album cover, do all that, press it up, get it ready to drop, and nobody even knew. Then people knew, like, oh, then they were just like, damn, that's how you feel, bro? And I was like, yeah, I had to make an executive decision. Because I don't want to get stagnant and be waiting on nothing. So I just did the whole project by myself. And it took me no time. So that was my point, was to make an executive decision, record the album, put that shit out, and boom, it was done. And that was the reason I did it, was so I could tell a person, I'm going to lead by example and show you. I ain't going to just talk this shit. If I'm going to go in here and record for 6 hours, man, you better come out that motherfucker with at least 4 songs. 4 songs. Not know I'm going to take it home and write the other verse bullshit. No.
But like the old saying goes as well, you know what I mean? Sometimes if you want things done, you just got to do it yourself, man. You know what I mean?
That's true, man. So that's basically what that was all about, just making an executive decision. And, just showing people that you gotta be about that shit if you say it, you know what I mean? Because this is the music business and then you just liking music is two different things. So, you know, you handling business and you call yourself a businessman, so you need to be, you know, on point with your business. But if you just like, you know, again, just like, you know, like you just like shooting hoops and shit on the weekend up at the beach outside, that's cool. But if your ass want to play on the team, you know, and like wear a uniform and suit up, you got to put in that fucking work, bro.
And also as well, man, you are also a part of the hip hop collective SD Central League, man. I was wondering, what's the story behind that group? And of course, how did you actually meet the other members?
And that right there, that's classic too, because that's Lil Ryan. Lil Ryan is DJ Lil Ryan, man. He has a Fave 46 radio, but you know I'll give you some links to that so you can check it out, man. Close friend of DJ Premier. I mean that's his guy, you know what I mean. So you already know what that's like, you know, and that's primo, man. So you know when he was like, you know, coming to the show, so I met him through his bro Ace Boogie. We get into that too. But when I met DJ Lil Ryan, he was like, man, you know, I want to be your DJ, man, and I want you to be, you know, we're going to do this little group. And him, my boy, Ski, Get a Rock Ski. And I was like, this Lil Ryan asking me to be in a group? So, you know, I'm trying to just be cool, but I'm really all like, hell, fucking yeah. Shit. So he has a incredible resume, man. Like, this dude been bombing out since day one. You feel me? Like, I'll give you some of his, like, some of the links he's gave me, some of the albums, you know, the new Black Moon album, when it came out, he gave me that. Here, man, it's for you to listen to. Like, wow, thanks. Like, he be having some shit, man, but it's like, to put that little group together, and we still got new records dropping. And the S.I.N Central is don't grow, you know what I mean? That was just put together to form an alliance, you know, like a bar alliance out here. Because I don't know, everybody get that perceived notion about who rap like, and, you know, you can't be putting people in a box like that, bro. So, you know, S.I.N Central League is just something that's going to grow like fucking Rutgers League. You know, you start out small, man, of course, so you know we're going to be at four full court games going.
And I gotta say as well, man, I can't wait to hear some of your guys' newest projects, man. Because I'm gonna be honest, man, that's a super group in my personal opinion, man. So I'm really psyched to see what you guys are gonna put together in 2021.
Oh my God, yeah, we do have some, and there's like some more of the other DJs that's coming in, man. It's like crazy. It's just crazy, man. And you know, I'm just proud to be a part of the music. I mean, of hip hop, the culture. You know what I mean? Like to be able to date all the way back and sit here and be hollering at Dub C or something, and be singing his shit off the Mass Circle or you know old ass underground tapes that they had. That I had all that shit. I be singing that shit. His ass be like, man, how the fuck you remember? I don't even remember that shit. Hey man, that's that shit you grew up on, you know. So it's a way of life, man. So you know, some people do music and shit because they see other people do music. That shit is like how people go to the gym. Some people go to the gym. I go to the studio. Yeah. Some people like fucking lifting weights. I like writing songs. Not rap, songs.
And also as well, I noticed that you actually are featured in the Enemy's newest project titled The Meat Market alongside fellow legend Dogman Compton. I was wondering, how did yourself, Enemy, and Dogman get connected? And of course, what was it like working on that project? Because I gotta say, the three of you guys on that joint is absolute fire, man. I literally, I'm all the way here in Canada, man. When I jammed that song, I'm feeling that slapper, man. It's slapping me with every beat.
Hey man, I appreciate that. Shout out to the homie Enemy, man, for letting me get on that too, man. And the homie Dog, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga already know what it is. But yeah, man, and it's crazy though, because it's like, you know, we partners, so that was one of them. Because Enemy, you know, he real, you know, his ass real typical about that motherfucker that just fucking with anybody. So it's like, when Enemy like, man, I want you to get on the song, I'm like, okay. You know, you gotta have your shit ready fucking with this nigga. Because this nigga, you fuck around going there and get embarrassed fucking with enemy. You better have your shit together. So, you know, we go over there and we lay, and I think Dogman had laid his part already. So, like, me and enemy went to Prodigy House, and I laid my part, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie Prod, the whole South Central Cartel, you know what I'm saying? West Coast stand the fuck up. But, yeah, man, it was just, you know, the homie, and he was putting the record together. He, like, you know, he putting the album together. So, you know, I'm hearing songs, I'm like, shit, yeah. I didn't know what order that shit was going to go in, but my boy, that Prod hit that motherfucker in the perfect arranged order. The whole motherfucking album slap. But that was a blessing right there, man. And as far as us getting on the song, nobody knew what order that shit was going to go. We just laid the song and let Prod handle the rest of that, man. But shout out to the homie Enemy on that one. That album definitely is a slapper. You know, all the features and shit that's on there. Corrupt, fucking Red Rum, man. It's all kind of, come on, bro. Stop playing.
And also, as well, I noticed aside from music, that you actually have your own Firestone District merchandise available, man. I was wondering if you could tell our listeners, well, what kind of apparel do you have, and of course, how can we actually go about snagging ourselves some? Because I saw that a yellow hoodie you had, man, and I gotta say, that is absolutely crispy, man. I want to make sure our listeners know where they can snag some merchandise as well.
Oh, I definitely appreciate that. But right now, what we doing is you can reach me at Instagram at AllCityB, one word, ALLCITYB. And once you see my page, just follow me, man. And from there on, we'll get it rocking. We are building a website for our whole merch line and the graphic arts design company that we doing, period. But as of right now, you know, you just contact me through Instagram, man. You know, at AllCityB, and we can get it rocking. That literally, man, is just something. We did the Firestone District. That was like 4 or 5 years ago, you know. So I just stuck with it, you know, stuck with it. Anytime I'm going out, that's what the fuck I'm rocking. When I'm going out, I'm taking that with me. I'm handing people shit. You know, a lot of my homies, they go buy some. It might be something I ain't even selling. Like, bro, I just made this shit for me to wear to the show. And you'd be like, yo, can you go here? Huh? Make me one then. My fucking stop being selfish. So, you know, we just kind of took it and blew it up. But then when we came with this Eastie design, like, now, the Eastie design did kind of just go fucking nuts. You know, like, shout out to everybody that's supporting this shit, man. And I got you some shit. I don't even want to tease you with showing you. I'm going to just send you a package, bro. I got you some DJ Immortal, some custom made shit. Then I got some Eastie shit for you too, bro.
Hey, man, I gotta say, I greatly appreciate that as well, man. I really do, man. I'm thankful for that, man. And I'll make sure as well when it does arrive that I'll take some pictures and videos, man, and post that up with your website links and everything. That way people can get some of that crispy apparel as well.
Appreciate that, man. And once again, shout out to everybody. Man, I'm sending this shit I done sent this shit to over 20 states. You know what I mean? Like, people really supporting. And anybody who haven't got their order yet, you know it's coming, and I'm going to give you some extra shit. That's all I got for your ass right there.
But also, man, I gotta ask, man, because I know right now, man, you're killing it within the music industry, man. You're doing phenomenal things. You know, you got your merchandise line, but I gotta ask you, man, like, what is next for All City, man? Like, is there anything I missed during this interview? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote while we still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves?
Well, what we are doing is, well, what I'm doing is, we working on a film, man. We working on this, like, short film, you know what I mean? And, we're going to be pitching this shit on, like, one of these Hulu or fucking, you know, one of them little channels, little, you know, we going to put out, I look at so many of them little films, you know, I call them films with rappers in them. And I be like, I can make a better movie than that. You know what I mean? So, storyboards and shit like that, I'm good at writing shit like that. So, we just start shooting that shit, you know? And it's like, it's gonna be damn hood inclined, but what I'm doing on the screen and off the screen is trying to teach these fucking kids, man, some respect for their elders and how to live out here. So we don't have to keep losing our goddamn kids, man, because that shit it's a bad thing out here, brother. So we be pushing film, and I'm doing, stuff with these kids, man, trying to help these little dudes, show them how to wear their pants up on their ass, and, how to respect people, man, you know what I mean, so they can live longer.
And I gotta say as well, that's actually a good thing to do, because I notice as well a lot of individuals and kids nowadays, man, they're more prone to, like, unfortunately mimic movies or mimic YouTube or TikTok videos or something like that. So the fact that you're putting all that content in a movie, I really do think that can actually reach definitely some troubled youth for sure.
Yeah, man, because that's also a branch of what I'll be doing. I don't like to call them non-profits because it sounds so cliche, but it's like I'm going to be doing some type of movement, and, it's going to be the We All We Got Foundation, whatever, quote unquote, but it's like We All We Got is going to be like a Big Brother club, you know what I mean? We going to take kids, I hear this shit every day. Man, why you just down? You need to get your job. Oh, I don't got no ID. I'm going to be the motherfucker taking down there and getting my ID. Now, what's your excuse? Oh, man, I need something to wear to the interview. I'm going to be the motherfucker taking down there and getting something to wear to the interview. Show him how to tie a fucking tie. And show him how to look somebody in the eye, shake their hand, and you know what I mean? Like I said, I do that shit on the regular. I just don't film it because that shit is getting cliche to me. I don't like people that feel like they got to record themselves if they giving somebody something. You feel me? That shit just trying to take the love away from it, if you ask me.
And also as well, so this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves. And I know you already dropped your IG, but just in case for the individuals that happen to miss it, and if you can, drop them social media handles again. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything All City if they're not already doing so.
Most definitely. You can definitely reach All City on Instagram at All City B. Just one word, 7 letters. All City B on Instagram. On Facebook, my handle, they whacked my other page, so now my new handle is, what is it? Richy, it's All City South Central. I gotta look that shit up again, y'all. Y'all gotta forgive me for that one. And those are my only two social media platforms as of right now. I think I'm a little, I don't know, I ain't the TikTok type of dude, and I'll be damned if I Snapchat somebody.
I hear you on that one, trust me. I'm not huge on the whole Snapchat or TikTok. I don't know, mimicking videos and stuff like that. I leave that for the kids, man. I'm too old for that shit.
Oh, me, yeah, man. I got my little daughter, and my daughter, she's 13, man. She that's what they do, man, I see them sitting there, they all look like they're doing some cheerleading type. They all do the same dance moves.
I hear you on that one, man. I don't know. Maybe if I was like a teenager again, I might jump into it. But now I just look at it and go, damn, man. Like I won't fit in that mix. So I'm just gonna stay away from that one.
Yeah, that's real. Me too, man.
But I gotta say, All City, man. I first and foremost want to say, man, thank you so much for sliding into the radio station airwaves after a long, hard days of work, man. It was an honor and most definitely a privilege just to be able to chop it up with a legendary California hip-hop artist like yourself, man. I'm looking forward to your movie when it does come out, and I'm most definitely looking forward to your new projects when they do drop and release to the general public, man. But I gotta say, for now, thank you so much, man, and have yourself a wonderful night.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. And what I need you to do is send me an email, because I'm going to give you some exclusive, dog, that you can just do what you want to do with them, man. I got plenty of shit. Plenty of shit.
Most definitely. I'll shoot those links off to you the moment we sign off, and I'll shoot you the email as well. And once you send the songs, if you send them, we here in Canada will most definitely spin them.
Oh, most definitely going to send them. And that rhyme, too. That was kind of dope. I think you did that on purpose.
Man, I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? It's just me delivering that radio candy, man. You know what I mean?
That's right, baby. I hear that, man. Hey, man, much love to you. And I want to congratulate you, bro, on your success. I'm watching you growing. And I'm gonna tell you something about people when they start growing. Sometimes their arms start getting shorter. Yours getting longer. Like, you know, sometimes people stop putting that energy into that shit. But it's like you get more successful and you reaching out to more people. Most people don't even fucking do that. So I appreciate that, man, and I applaud you on that shit, bro. That's having a big ass heart, man.
I gotta say, I greatly appreciate the love, man. I really do. I just do what I do because I love hip hop, man, and it's been a big inspiration and a coping mechanism my entire life. So now that I'm older, I have the resources and I have the technology in front of me. Now it's my turn to give back to a culture that did so much for me. Now it's my turn to give back.
I heard that, man. That's some shit. See, I'm gonna have to have you on my platform when we get this shit up and running, man, because that's just that grown man shit right there. You know what I mean? So, and that's what we on, man. You gotta teach their ass how to grow up, my guy. That's what we gotta do. DJ Immortal, we gotta teach these dudes how to grow the fuck up.
Hey, man, I look at it like this, man. I've had a lot of individuals, I had other platforms, man, reach out to me and tell me to slow the fuck down. I have, and I was like, why? They're like, because you're showing us up. I'm like, then work harder.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. That's an underhand. Hey, brother, like somebody told me, it was a compliment in there somewhere.
Most definitely, you know what I mean. So, like, I don't like being rude. I like trying to be as humble as possible. But if I have another platform reaching out to me, telling me to slow down, chances are, man, I'm just gonna work 10 times harder.
Exactly. Just like when your parents used to tell you to do something, you know you do the exact fucking opposite. Stop playing.
That's true, man. But I gotta say, All City, I appreciate the love, man. I really do. It's an honor to hear it from such a talented, legendary individual like yourself, man. I appreciate your time, and I know our listeners do as well, man. But for now, man, keep in touch. You need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. We here at 97.7 FM, we got you.
Hey, much love, brother, and I appreciate you too.
Hey, man, most definitely. You have yourself a wonderful night and stay safe out there out in Cali.
And man, likewise, you too out there on the other side, brother. Love
Hey,
that.
most definitely, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, now.